What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new miniseries, Ripley. Let's rock this. Now, do you guys remember that 1999 movie, The Talented Mr. Ripley, starring Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Jude Law, directed by the late great Anthony Minghella? Well, that's the same story, and those are the same characters that you'll also see on this limited series, with new actors playing them, of course, and with the great Steven Zaillian in charge, which is fine, but it's also odd that this is the particular one that Hollywood keeps coming back to again and again, even though, as I understand it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but author Patricia Highsmith wrote a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of novels about Tom Ripley, many of which were previously adapted in the past. But perhaps Steven Zaillian saw the old 1999 movie and thought that there could be room to expand it, some room to further explore it. And you know what? He's totally right. The review embargo lifts on the same exact night as this show's premiere, so there's no need to tiptoe around the details anymore. So I've already watched all 8 episodes, and this show is phenomenal. Ripley is classy and exquisite, but it's also dark and chilling and clever. It's a noir with a touch of unsettling horror that gradually creeps up on you, and it generates an uneasy mood that stays with you throughout the entire show. And Andrew Scott is incredible in this role. Not to take away from what Matt Damon did in the previous adaptation, but Andrew disappears in this character, Tom Ripley. He became Tom Ripley. And it's all in that charmingly twisted persona that he effortlessly carries. Andrew makes this monster, Tom Ripley, come across as very approachable, intoxicating, and elusive all at once. Even as we, the audiences, are like, oh man, is this the moment when he's finally gonna get caught? The suspense is killing me! Written and directed by Academy Award winner Steven Zaillian, Emmy nominee Andrew Scott plays Tom Ripley, a grifter scrapping by in early 1960s New York, is hired by a wealthy man to travel to Italy to try to convince his vagabond son to return home. Tom's acceptance of the job is the first step into a complex life of deceit, fraud, and murder. The drama series is based on Patricia Highsmith's best-selling Tom Ripley novels. Hey, please click the join button below to become Rama Screen members. By doing so, you will help support this channel and you'll also get lots of perks. So click on the link below to join Rama Screen membership today. The first thing that stands out, the first thing that you'll immediately notice is, of course, the black and white cinematography. And remember, showrunner Steven Zaillian won Oscar for screenwriting Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List, which was filmed in black and white. And the choice to apply that same technique on Ripley is brilliant, because it kind of feels as if you're watching something that was made from that era, as opposed to watching something that wants to look like it's from that era. And it's highly effective because it puts even more emphasis on the duality of naivete and evil. And DP Robert Elswit did a remarkable job with it. Many of the shots on this show are just straight up visually arresting. Oh, the music is also another aspect about this show that just draws you in, especially when it's just the piano tunes for those reflective moments after a murder gone deeply exhausting. So from the technical standpoint, this show, Ripley, absolutely excels on all fronts. On top of the setting, Italy, that already lends a very breathtaking, beautiful, old-timey aesthetics. And what I love the most out of everything that's already awesome about this show is that Steven makes us, the audiences, feel like we are Tom's shadow, watching Tom's every move, and only we get to witness Tom's secrets and his cover-ups. And turns out, Steven's way of expanding Tom Ripley's story is by highlighting the details of Tom's deeds, how Tom got away with his crime, so to speak. So it's never a jump cut from the murder to him walking around the next day. No. I mean, you get to see the process step by step, which is also a testament to Andrew Scott, because that process can at times be physically demanding, but Andrew pulls it off. And it's a big part of the enjoyment of watching this show. If I were to have some minor criticism, I'd say it's mostly in terms of the investigation. You see, it's a slightly different cat and mouse chase because there's a mistaken identity involved. I get that. I understand. But the walls are not closing in, or the noose is not tightening as vociferous as I thought it would be. Even the twist reveal at the end only makes the detective look bad because turns out he is not as competent as he makes himself out to be on the previous episodes leading up to that. But hey, maybe that's just how it goes in the novels and Steven Zaillian is just following the material faithfully, and maybe the focus is not so much on that, but more on look at this con man who can talk his way out of anything and can wiggle his way out of any situation. Which, by the way, he totally does. Impressively, I might add. So yeah, overall I give Ripley the rating of 4.5 out of 5. Such an exceptional, absorbing show about a bad guy you love to hate, a villain whom you can't help but admire just a little bit. He's so driven and motivated to taste the life of privilege that those born into it take for granted. I'm telling ya, part of me condemns Tom Ripley, but part of me kinda cheers him on, disturbing as that might sound.